One Open Line, talking with Councilman at Large Steve Glover with the Metro Council. He's answering all kinds of questions about some of the issues before the council right now, and also a question about, is he going to run for mayor? He says it is too early for him to answer that question. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Ted. Hello, Ted.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
All right, buddy, I got a reply to that guy, Mike. It was just on here.
Okay.
He may need the government to lead him around by the nose and tell him what to think and say and do and want, but a real American don't. A real American thinks for himself. And as for masks, you can take them and put them where the sun don't shine. Tennessee brought out men like Sam Houston and Davy Crockett and Sergeant Alvin York, Buford Pusser, and David Schultz. We don't need no little weenie boys telling us what to do, say, think, or say. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, no mask, no vax, and pedo Joe Biden can kiss my southern eye.
Okay, so a very passionate statement there. Are you, I mean, when you hear that, does that make you go, yay? I mean, is that an educated statement? Or just tell, I mean, if it is, fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead. What are your thoughts for that statement?
This is the issue right here. This is a gentleman who believes in America, not saying the other side doesn't, okay? But he's got use of America. You know, I happen to believe in our Constitution. If we sit down and we look at it, it does give the states the power. It does. We can say whatever we want to. The federal government keeps inching in, but it gives the states the power. The way it's designed, you know, our forefathers did not want government in every piece of our world. And so, you know, do I cringe when people speak like that? Not necessarily. Do I cringe when the other side speaks what I would call complete nonsense? I try not to, because I believe in this situation, you have to listen to both sides. But ultimately, you've got to make the decision for yourself. And I believe if you're an adult, that's your responsibility to make that decision.
But in a public health crisis, if I wear a mask and then the person beside me decides not to wear a mask, doesn't that it's his choice, fine, but that his choice is putting people at risk.
Does the vaccine work, yes or no? There's the answer in my mind. Ben, I took the shot. They told me if I took the shot, then whether you took it or you didn't wasn't relevant, but they keep changing the rules. They keep changing and changing and changing. People are over it. So many people are over this now. Now, whether it's right or it's wrong, I don't care. I'm not the one determining people are over it. People have determined they're over it. And the government pushed it too far.
I agree people are over it. So my question, and then we'll move on. My question would be, what is the motivation? Is the motivation to keep people safe? I mean, is it a genuinely... Yeah, the information has changed, and all we're trying to do is keep people safe. Or do you think there's some effort to control people, and it's not about keeping people safe? Do you think there are people back in a room somewhere saying, all right, let's push this as far as we can. It has nothing to do with safety. It's something else?
I firmly believe that. Now, once again, that'll make a lot of people mad, but, you know, I've always spoke my mind. I will always speak my mind. You may not agree with me, but I'm never going to lie to you. I just don't do that. I don't believe in it. By telling the truth, I can sleep well at night. But I am a firm believer that this has a lot to do with controlling us and telling us what we have to do. And in America, that's not the way our Constitution works, and that's not the way our country, and that's not what we were founded on. And so therefore, I do believe that with all my heart. Again, on safety issues, I will cooperate and do the things that I want people to be safe. But don't tell me, get the shot, and then you don't have to wear the mask anymore, and then come back, you know, a couple weeks later and say, oh, well, we messed up. Oh, well, now you're going to have to do this. Oh, well, now you have to. See, it just never stops. It never, ever, ever stops. And so, therefore, there's a bunch of us out here that have said, you know what, that train has stopped for us. We're done. We're done.
Okay. All right. All right. Several calls. Let's go to Teresa. Hello, Teresa.
Oh, yeah.
Go right ahead, Teresa.
Okay. I'm a native from Nashville, and my question is, how is it that they can have these homes to be extremely high? Now, I know you have gas gouging, where the gas is extremely high, and then you get prosecuted for that. But how do these homes go from in the late 80s to early 90s from $192,000 to this present time? They're like $400,000. That is extremely high, and I don't see where the grass got greener. I don't see where there was any gold found or any diamonds found in the ground. So I'm trying to figure out how in the world did this economic boom come when we had a pandemic? People are getting TVA assistance to pay their light bills. Come on, people. Something is wrong with that. The math is incorrect. And these homes are being sold for too much. It's not a home in East Nashville. I've been here all my life, and I'm almost a half-century old. And I know what East Nashville used to be, and I know exactly what Galton Road used to be, and I know who used to walk those streets. And I feel that that is incorrect for these people to come in, these investors, and build these homes that they're not even made out of brick. You ever heard of the Three Little Pigs? Well, we're not the smartest pig out here.
So, okay.
Because we have all of this siding. We don't even have bricks on the homes. And they are just tripled. And I know that is incorrect, and that is not right, and Nashville needs to get it together.
All right. Teresa, very upset about rising housing prices. They are just very high. They've gone up very quickly. East Nashville, perfect example. What do you think about what she's saying?
There's not one thing she said that I disagree with. The problem we have, and her name was Teresa, correct?
Right.
Okay. Teresa, the problem we've got so many people moving in from the West Coast, from up north, where taxes are astronomically high. They're coming in, they're paying cash, supply and demand. Unfortunately, supply and demand is what's driven it to where it is. It bothers me every day that the bubble burst. If, in fact, next year, and I'm reading articles right now, that the concern is not necessarily inflation next year, it's deflation next year. If that's the case, we're going to be in a heck of a world of hurt, because you'll see pricing that has the potential to start plummeting. Now, is Nashville going to? I'm not saying that it will. But when prices move up that rapidly, and she's exactly right, when they move up that rapidly, there's no place for them to go once they hit that top realm but down. And it bothers me, and it scares me, and it worries me. It bothers me a great deal that these young folks, these young adults that are coming out of college don't have the money. They're having to pay, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 for these little apartments and things of that nature. When you're paying that kind of rent out there, how do you save to buy a house? I mean, unfortunately, it is taking away the American dream, and we've done a lousy job with it. We talk about affordable housing, but we really don't do anything with it.
What can government do? If it's supply and demand, what could government really do? People are coming here, they're paying tons of money for houses. They want to live here. What can government really do?
In my opinion, Ben, we've got thousands of acres out there. Developers, if we set guidelines up and said, okay, look, you can utilize the land here, but you're going to have to do like this. It has to be in this price points, et cetera. You'd have developers who would do it. And then you have the criteria to be able to help people buy those homes. Now, that does not interfere with the free market. The free market will continue on. But it does allow that workforce group to be able to come in and have a place to live and afford. The problem we've got right now, just go to, I'm not going to say a supermarket brand, okay? But go to a supermarket after 9 o'clock at night and tell me if you can, A, get in, and B, if you can buy stuff that you were able to 1 year ago. You can't. Why? Because there's such an employee shortage. Why is there such employee shortages? Well, a lot of people have just left. We drove a lot of folks away, but we also have made it so hard for people to live within a distance to be able to work at these types of places that, you know, we're not looking at the full spectrum of how to actually solve it. Oh, we do a lot of sound bites and all this other garbage, but we don't really sit down and deal with it. We pretend real good, but we're not real good at really pretending.
All right, so we have to take a break. Kevin and others, hold on the line. We'll take a break and be back right after this.